Welcome back to another issue. I'm Beastie Boy.
I'm Table.
I'm Red.
And it is I, Brando.
In this issue, we go through clips from our Itty Bitty Nerdy Committee, highlighting our picks for LGBTQ content. But yeah, that brings all of my news. But I do have a piece of media for our in celebration of our Pride Month. So the film I have brought is Moonlight. Has anyone seen? Sorry, I don't know why I did that. But has anyone seen this film by chance?
I have not seen it yet, but I've seen the reviews and I've seen a lot of things like videos and such about it.
I watched it win an Academy Award.
It's fucking beautiful.
And
okay, go on.
Table hit it on the head with nail in its proper facts. But this movie came out in 2016. This honestly, like I kind of stumbled upon it because my film friend had told me about the movie that was coming out, and I was like, okay, like I'll give it a chance and see what it's about. Like I had no idea what it was. It was like obviously I think at a time an indie, I think it is an indie film or so. But the casting, let alone the story, was a unique like choice because you have characters like actors and actresses like Mashallah Ali, our recent Blade actor, Naomi Harris, and Trevante Rhodes, which is the older version of the main character that you'll see, and as well Janelle Monáe and some other like some titular characters here and there as well too, but also like brand new actors that were brought into the movie. But Moonlight
Janelle Monáe is actually a queer person to themselves.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, they are.
Yes. So yes, but yeah, this whole film is legit like an amazing masterpiece of like growing in basically the suburbs or the hood of I can't remember if it was like Chicago or something like that. I'm gonna butcher the scenery, but it basically traverses through the aging of the main character from when he was like in basically elementary school to the junior high school area, and then when he's an adult. But it's him like going through the ages of that, of like dealing with his everyday life, but also finding himself and trying to identify who he was as like
understanding his own sexuality through his own life.
Exactly. Yeah,
it's not quite a coming of age film, but it hits some of the same beats here and there. But it's also just way better than most coming of age movies you'll watch.
It's true.
Yes, but yeah, so no, this film was like very interesting, and like, oh man, just the film work and like the portrayal of like the again the different actors playing the same character over the times was like a very interesting portrayal. So it's a good film. It's like I can't remember if it's like an hour 45 or something, but it won awards over La La Land, I believe, at the time.
Sure fucking did.
Yeah, so
I'm pretty sure. So I think it's part of the infamous, like, when the award for it was announced, it actually
the person actually didn't read it and assumed it was La La Land, and it wasn't. Yeah.
And they went stop, and then it's Moonlight.
Warren Beatty the idiot.
So yeah, there was that big kerfuffle all about in the 2016 point or 2017, depending on when the awards was. But yeah, honestly, like watching this, literally just like it's beautiful from start to like finish. So like if this is something that you may interest you, and it's mostly a person of color cast, mainly a black cast too. This is something that I feel like you should check out if you're interested in this. But
yeah, well, it's a huge issue, right? That huge portions of the queer community who are very active in terms of rights movements, organization, and other community events are in some way people of color, but historically speaking, they have not been super well represented in queer media because, in part, there hasn't been a lot of queer media historically to represent them in. But at the same time, they're a huge part of why it's okay to be gay these days, and it'd actually be nice to see queer stories of the people who helped with that.
Exactly, yeah.
Right.
Rather than focus on the white twinks.
Facts. And listen, we would not have the pride or the parades that many people participate in across the years without a black, gay, trans woman named Marsha P. Johnson. So excluding black queers from an on-screen experience.
Correct.
Bullshit.
Mm-hmm.
And this isn't just, representation. This is actually just really good media. So well done to Moonlight.
Exactly.
Heck yeah.
Right on.
Yeah.
That brings us to the last bit of news I've got for the week, which isn't actually news. It's just my queer media choice. So technically, this isn't LGBTQ media. However, if you watch it and are in any way queer yourself, it totally is. So, Just One of the Girls came out in the 90s, like 1993. And the premise of this movie is that Chris, our guy in the cheerleader outfit there, tries to attend school, except he kind of got in a fight with guy in the leather jacket you can see in the top right image, Mr. Kurt Stark. And he had an altercation beforehand, so when he shows up, Kurt absolutely does not let him in the building and chases him away, basically. And when I say chases him away, I mean, like, Chris turns around and gets on a bus, and Kurt runs after the bus, jumps onto the side, peers up through the window and says, "You didn't save me a seat," and then, like, snaps his teeth like a dog. What?
Wow.
Jesus.
Chris decides...
That's commitment.
Yeah. Chris decides he can never see this guy again. Which, totally fair. And during their initial altercation, he avoids Kurt by running into a change room at, like, just like one of the curtain change rooms at a store after stealing the wig off of a mannequin and some women's clothes off of a rack. And when Kurt opens the curtain to, like, go, "Aha, it's you," he goes, "How dare you!" in a very high-pitched voice and slaps him and then closes it. And because that worked once, Chris decides the strategy is just going to be dress like a woman to get into school, change in the bathroom, go about your day. Unfortunately for Chris, he runs into a teacher on his way to the bathroom to change and is forced to attend class still dressed like a girl. As a result, everyone in his classes know him as a girl. And he just goes, "Well, I guess I'm a girl at school now."
Well.
Now, for all that this is a hilarious premise, it's not, this is just cross-dressing, right? Theoretically.
Mm-hmm.
However, when it comes time for gym class, Chris pretends to have a medical condition, so he can't take part. As a result, he gets put on towel duty. And the gym teacher watches him watching the other girls and goes, "Ah, I have a lesbian." And so pulls him aside to talk to him about it. And she's like, "It's totally okay. Like, I fully support you. How do your parents know about this?" And he's like, "No, of course they don't know about it. They'd kill me." And she's like, "All right. Obviously you can't keep going into the girls' dressing room if you're going to be looking at them like that, but we can find other stuff for you to do. It's going to be okay." And he's like, "Wow, I can't believe you're so cool about a guy dressing up like a girl. And I know I would lose my shit." And she's like, "You're a what?" And he's like, No, not that, not that. And she's like, No, explain." He's like, "Look, it all started years ago when," like, the way he talks about it so casually off the cuff, this is not a cis man. He just isn't. He talks about initially being into panties purely for fetish wear, of course. And then later, like, dressing up in a skirt when no one was home. And every adult in this film is so supportive of his potential queer identity. It's only when they go, "Oh, are you being sketchy?" that they start to disapprove of his actions. Kurt in the top right has one hell of a glow up. Like, he honestly just goes, "Oh, I do need to get in touch with my feelings so the girl I like will, like, actually talk to me." And then he does. And at the end, when he finds out that, Chris has been deceiving him this whole time, he doesn't even kick Chris's ass because he's like, "Actually, I just have a lot of emotions about this and I gotta go feel some feelings."
Wow.
Like,
You
Wow.
found
It's-
something about yourself today.
it's as queer friendly as a movie from 1993 could possibly be. It's fantastic.
Holy
And
shit.
I will admit, it's really hard to get a hold of. Like, it's not on any streaming platforms. If you want to buy it, it's expensive. So your odds are you're gonna have to watch it the way I watched it, which is to say the entire movie is uploaded on YouTube with Spanish subtitles.
Huh.
So
Love it.
that's where it
Okay.
is.
Okay.
It's really good, I promise.
There's we've talked lots in all of our Pride episodes thus far this month about lots of different shows that like and characters.
Mm-hmm.
It is very surprising you didn't pull one of them,
I wanted something weird, okay?
and that you did succeeded 10 out of 10.
I can't make you guys watch this without a lot of effort, but if you ever have a free evening, it's 93 minutes. It is on YouTube, and it is funny.
It is time for my showcase of some LGBTQ content.
Nice.
Oh.
Go ahead.
The series I bring to you is brought to you actually by one of my friends who is non-binary. They recently shared their struggle with finding trans masculine media and discovered Shine True, which is on Amazon Prime on the Out TV subscription. What this boils down to is
What is this
Queer
about?
Eye,
Mhm.
but dedicated to helping trans and non-binary people finding arts and culture and, clothes that actually fit and work for them.
It's actually really nice.
Understood.
Right? So this is hosted by Richie Shazam and Lucas Silveria. And this is one of those, like, spins on a concept that I just couldn't have known existed without somebody in the LGBTQ community looking for it. If you want to find gay content, ask gay people.
There's a lot of content that's made by queer people for queer people, so you kind of got to get into the community to find it, but once you're there, you're good to go.
Right. And so, to show you a little bit more about this series,
I describe my gender as non-binary.
I know I'm different. I just don't know how to show it.
For a lot of queer people, fashion is a way to express our inner strength.
We're here to help you blossom into the person you see yourself as.
I feel so cute.
This is going to be a learning process for everybody.
There is no template of what we should look like.
It's a hard existence, but it is also a beautiful existence.
this show is looking to bring to light a struggle that a lot of people in that community have. And I'm very happy to show it here on this show, so that way it can get more of an audience. In fact, it's a Canada show. It's Canadian content.
Shit. That's pretty good.
So not only is it queer, but it's Canadian queer.
CanCon queer?
10-4.
For the record, if you do want other queer media, Out TV Go is actually a fantastic source for it. A lot of queer shows are on there. Its algorithm is fucky for sure, but it's there.
Yeah.
So
All right.
I'm
dig
so
it.
glad, and I think I just convinced Table to go watch it.
you might have. Shut up.
But that
Shout out
brings
to
me...
already having the gay subscriptions.
I didn't know there was one. Can I sign up now?
I'll send you the details.
Yeah, send me your login, please. But that brings me to the end of my news this week. Shino, where would you like to begin?
Mm-hmm. Yes. We are also sharing content, and my shared content is going to be an oldie but goodie from 1995 called To Wong Foo, Thanks for Everything, Julie Newmar, which is a movie starring Wesley Snipes, John Leguizamo, and Patrick Swayze. Remember I told you guys that it literally starred two guys we already talked about. We talked about Blade, we talked about The Clown, and they're both in this movie, and they're all dressed in drag.
Wild. Listen, you know how much I like John Leguizamo. Mr. Luigi.
Well, he does a fantastic job in this movie. He does a fantastic job in this movie. In fact, the fun thing about this whole movie is it's literally a road trip. So it stars Wesley Snipes as Noxzema. Hold on, let me get her name correctly, please. Noxzema Jackson and Patrick Swayze is Vita Boheme, and their plan is they were trying to enter a drag contest in which they both tied for first. So to kind of like break the tie, they wanted to go for the bigger one down in Las Vegas, but they wanted to kind of challenge themselves also. So John Leguizamo's character is a newcomer to the scene who wants to get into that world, and he wants to go by the name of Chichi Rodriguez. So their plan is to transform him throughout their journey to have him win the pageant. That way it kind of like, breaks their tie. That means they can both form a drag queen to perfection in a sense. And a whole long way along the way, they kind of confront the social, the social pushback at the time. So it kind of leans on the old tropes of like, what was against them. But I mean, like it kind of plays against it at the same time. Like they really do take the piss on it. So with a positive attitude. So if you do want to check out an oldie but goodie, check this movie out because it's actually a lot of fun. It won awards. I think both Wesley Snipes and Patrick Swayze walked away with awards for this movie. So their performances are great. So do check it out.
Okay.
So the thing I want to add to your fantastic piece is you'll notice a riff on that art in the top left or top right hand corner.
Yeah.
Some of the characters from RuPaul's Drag Race did an homage to this cover.
Oh, you see? Yeah, because this movie means a lot. I got introduced to this movie because my mom really wanted to go see it. She's a big Wesley Snipes fan, so she wanted to see him in drag. So I wanted to see because she was like, I seen him in like I think it was Passenger 57 or some shit like that. It was an action movie, so I was like, yeah, I'll go check him out in this. And the whole movie's fucking funny, man. So honestly, like I can see why they paid homage to it because they really did push a boundary at the time, and it spoke on a positive note. So I mean, go check that out.
And I have never seen it, and it is fantastic to see. Like it would be in poor taste to say bring the movie White Chicks.
Yeah. See, and that's in poor taste. Even though as humorous as it can get here and there, that's in like poor taste to what we're talking about here. As where this is more of a real deal.
Okay.
I am so very glad you brought this.
Right on, man.
And
you guys do check it out, man. It's fucking funny.
And as like the last LGBTQ content to be featured on this show anyway, not the end of our LGBTQ content, but on this show, unfortunately.
Oh yeah.
It is such a pleasure to see content that is not post 2012.
Oh yeah, this
Post
is oldie.
2014.
Yeah, this is
Right?
an oldie.
I mean, they're just genuinely taking drag serious, and for all that drag has a complex relationship with the LGBTQ plus community, it is present historically, and it's had a significant role.
Oh yeah.
God knows it deserve better than to be reduced to a bunch of men in dresses all the time.
Yeah. Unfortunate.
If those that are interested and would like to see more from a trans narrative, Beastie, where might they find such content from us?
Our humble podcast on Wednesdays. Near Crusade.
Humble, he says. I like that.
Humble. Good stuff. Good show. Good show. All right.
Thanks for tuning in. If you like this video, go ahead and button mash a thumbs up. If you want to swing by when we have a new video, web up the sub button. Oh, and while you're at it, hit the bell to be notified by.